Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis Racing Team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jackie. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby. Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology.
I'm Jackie Saxon.
And I'm Oliver Saxon, and together we're a mum and son's coaching team offering no-nonsense triathlon training and advice based in Yorkshire.
What we're going to talk about today are trying to bust some triathlon training myths.
And it might not necessarily be how other people would describe as busting them, because we don't necessarily do things the same way as everybody else does them.
No, we don't. We've said this before. I think if you've listened to our podcast in the past, you'll know that we tend to coach a lot different to anybody else. So our ideas are obviously different to everybody else.
Yeah.
So
we're going to talk about some of the main myths that people have been talking about over the last couple of months, both on other podcasts and on in our training groups, social media. Reddit, etc.
Yeah.
And look at giving you our spin on whether it's actually a myth or whether it's something that we can do better with, or how we would tackle it in your training if you were one of our athletes.
Yeah. So one of the first ones that we came across was why swimming more won't make you faster. Well, I think that's a bit wrong, in that while it might not make you faster, it will certainly make you fitter, so that you will get to the end of the swim better than you ever did before. So is it faster? Oh no. What do you think, Oliver?
It largely depends on the training this is where I get to put my lawyer's hat on while I'm doing this. So it depends is the answer. So will swimming more alone make you faster as a swimmer? Probably not is the answer. Will swimming more and mixing up the type of swimming that I'm doing make you faster? Yes, absolutely. So not only will you build your endurance, but then in specific speed or heart rate sessions, it will help improve your speed over time, and you will get faster by being able to take better strokes at a higher rate and a higher pace, and you'll be able to
keep that going for longer.
Yeah. So the answer is both yes and no to that question. Swimming more will make you faster with the right training. Swimming more might not necessarily make you faster on its own, but it will make you fitter, and that will make your triathlon overall a lot faster.
Yeah. So you take your pick there, which one you want to go for. I know what I do, but I know what I prefer, and I know what works because I've done it myself. So I can say with absolute certainty that it does work. So I think swimming more will make you faster. Well, let's get to the swim exit faster. What?
The next myth is whether running faster is a good or a bad thing for an endurance athlete to do in training, that is. Well, again, it depends. It depends on what time of the year that you're doing this training. It depends on what session you are doing, how you are doing your session. If you are going out and training and every run you're just running faster and you're training at that same pace all the time, but just a little bit quicker, but no real difference in terms of effort, then no, that ain't going to make you faster. Well, no. That's not true. Yes, it will make you faster for a short period of time, but then you will soon plateau and you won't get any faster from that.
And you'll probably get injured.
Yeah. Does running in certain sessions during the week or month of your training make you faster? Yes.
Without doubt.
So the best way to describe this, I think, is that thinking like that doing endurance running, so running easy, is going to build your engine. And that the more that you do of that, the bigger your engine will become and the more you'll be able to run comfortably for a longer period of time. If you want to increase the amount, the speed that you can run at, it's hand in glove with doing some sessions that are a bit faster than running easy. Emphasis on some sessions and not all of the session in those some sessions is running faster. You might want to do some tempo runs. You might want to just do some short efforts. All of those things will have a physiological effect that will either lower the lactate threshold in your blood. It will decrease your heart rate while you're exerting yourself at that over time. It will let your body feel like what it is to run fast, so that when you come to an event and you are running fast, you know that you can do this because you have done short amounts of it in your training.
Yes. Yeah, exactly right, Oliver. So another thing that we get asked about a lot is why easy running is considered as junk miles.
Well, we don't consider it as junk
No.
miles at all. In fact, we would say that probably the most amount of running that you'll do, probably more than 80% of it across a week or across a month, is going to be easy, because running is the thing that will take its most impact on the body, because it is an impact sport. There's nothing to absorb it. In swimming, the pool absorbs the impact. On the bike, there's no impact because you're pushing down on the pedals.
Yeah.
Running, you are coming into contact with
a hard surface,
most
a very
of a hard
surface,
or a treadmill, or some grass, or whatever it is that you're running on all the time. And that will have a physiological effect on the strain that your body can take.
Yeah.
But running easy, and where it actually is easy, not like you're kidding yourself that, I'm going to, I'm going along and this is easy. Running easy is so that you can have a conversation. If you can't have a conversation out loud, then you're not running easy enough.
No, and I mean, you will see world-class athletes, when they do their easy runs, it is easy. And you think, I thought they were supposed to be fast. I thought they were supposed to be fast. But they're doing their easy run, and that just shows they know the difference between easy and hourring it. So
and it's the range between easy and hard. That's the thing that increases your ability to run faster. If your range is a lot larger, then you will get faster over time and you won't get as injured. If your range from easy to hard, I'm doing it to the camera again for the readers, but it's like a very small range, then you're at risk of being in that plateau area again, where you might improve short term, but medium term, you're not going to get anywhere past that.
And certainly not long term.
So running easy is definitely not junk miles. It's the best training that you could possibly do for your running for the majority of the time, because it's helping build your aerobic capacity, but it's also preparing your tendons and muscles and ligaments for further battering in terms of faster running and more intense stuff later on down the road. Best example I can give you this is not from triathlon at all. It's actually from football, and from the football team we support. It's Liam Palmer, who plays at right back or centre midfield for Sheffield Wednesday, and last year in the
season 22-23,
the pre-season of that, in June, he ran 10k every day
for charity,
and would post his detail, his runs on Strava, and would stick them on Instagram and what have you, so you could have a look at what he was doing. From a coaching point of view, really easy. So this is an elite athlete playing in League One at the time, but also been an international, an elite athlete who is running at 10, 11-minute miles, gently running around, taking it easy, well below what he is capable of running.
Absolutely.
And he had his best season he had ever had. He won the Player of the Year, the Players' Player of the Year.
Scored more goals.
Yep.
Even though he's a right back.
He was one of the fittest players on the team.
Yep. When we needed to win 5-1, he scored the winning goal.
And at the end, he was struggling a little bit because he had a hernia problem, but didn't pick it up until he picked up his hernia issue. Didn't have no muscle, tendon, ankle.
They were nearly every present.
Ligament injuries. Every week you could rely on him. Monday, Saturday, Tuesday. Liam Palmer were there, bombing up and down, fit, easy running. That's what it was. We were not surprised, were we?
No, absolutely. We were saying this we were sitting in stand and say, I bet he's glad he did those miles. Every Saturday we said that because it was just so obvious, and you think that just proves his point that you don't have to be a racehorse.
No. And his easy miles that he'd done in June, when he went back to pre-season training in July, meant he was fit as a fiddle and he could handle the volume of intensity that they then needed to do, and then he could maintain that through the year. So an extreme example, because that's a professional athlete, but taking the principle from that, yes, you can run easy the majority of the time. No, it is not junk. It will improve you physiologically in all aspects.
What's his next one then, Oliver, do you think?
Why? So people often say, oh, I'm going out and doing my base training and I'm going to go and ride my bike for 5 and 6 hours, or go and do a long run for
3 hours.
3 hours. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere in the winter, the chances are that it's cold for a start.
More often than not, it'll be raining.
Or windy, or all three.
Probably all three.
It's not necessarily an environment that you want to go into by choice, although people will do because they'll go and get the long, slow miles in and then freeze the blinking cobblers off while they're riding the bike for all this time.
And say, no, it's all about your clothes and what have you. No, it's not. But
our training philosophy is that training should get more like your event the closer you get to your event. It's called reverse periodization. So we don't do long winter miles with our athletes, because what we spend the time doing now, and we do it ourselves in our training, is that we do shorter sessions, more tempo-y sessions, doing stuff that is opposite to what we're going to do. Triathlon is an aerobic sport for most people.
Yeah, I mean, the shortest event that we do, which is a sprint, for the majority of people, will be well over an hour.
And anything over an hour is classified as aerobic. 70.3 Olympic distance Ironman events, aerobic events. You can do your speed work and your tempo work in the garage, in the warm now.
On the treadmill, on your turbo.
When it gets to April, May, June, and the weather starts picking up, then you can start doing longer miles outside, because it is getting closer to your race day and your training will be more similar to the event that you're going to be doing. So it's not necessary to do long, slow winter mileage. There is another way.
And also, I will also say about this long, slow mileage is that if you're going 3 hours on your bike, when you're going to have a coffee stop, what's the point in that? Because all you're going to do is, I know it's social and what have you, but it depends. If you're training for a race and you're having a coffee stop halfway through, do you have a coffee stop on your race?
To misquote Maurizio Sarri, I ain't ever seen gym weights on a football pitch. I mean, he's right in what he's saying, but it's not necessarily right physiologically. But it's the point of principle that there ain't a coffee stop on your ride, so why are you stopping?
Yeah, all you're doing is
getting cold, start again.
Yeah, having to start again increases your chance of injury, increases your chance of infection. Why?
And you want it for the first half an hour after you've stopped, then started up again. You're going to hate it because you're going to be so cold and wet through with sweat and whatever. So might as well just carry it on.
Yeah, exactly.
At least you'd have been warm.
Yeah. So we digress. Next one.
The importance of recovery. Now, this isn't really a myth, because recovery is really important. But
Vital.
What the myth really is that there are no easy days and there are no training days if you want to be successful or reach a goal. That's nonsense. There are plenty of easy days because you can only handle so much, and the majority of your training should be easy. It is entirely appropriate to have a rest day, if that fits in with your schedule. If you want to have a day with your kids, it's a rest day. You don't have to cram something in at 5 o'clock in the morning so you can get that done before you have to spend the day with your kids. Have a day with your kids. Like, it's triathlon. You're not going to win the Olympics.
Yeah, I agree, Oliver. Absolutely agree.
If you're feeling a bit tired, have a rest day. It's fine. Feedback to your coach saying, I'm feeling really knackered. Have a rest day. Or we might do an easier day instead of the session that you had planned.
Yeah.
It's really important to not think I've got to be hard as nails and like granite when I'm going out, because
I'm a triathlete.
no, it's not necessarily like that.
No,
Not
that's
at
a
all.
myth. That is a myth.
That is a myth. You can absolutely have rest days. You can absolutely have easy days, particularly if, life's getting in the way or things have happened that make you need to take those days. You don't need to train through it or push on.
No, and this is from two people who come from Yorkshire who are built on grit.
Weren't allowed days off from school unless you had your head up chopped off.
Exactly. And I brought you up properly.
Well, one of the next ones that we're going to talk about is, if you increase your power, will that give you a better bike split? The answer to that question is, again, yes and no. So yes, increasing your power and training hard to increase power will give you a better bike split. But there are other things that you can do that will also give you a better bike split without necessarily training for the bike, such as swimming more. If you swim more and you get out of the swim exit feeling fresh or fresher than you would do normally, then you will have a better bike, because you will not spend the first half an hour hyperventilating trying to catch yourself back up from exerting yourself in the swim.
Yeah, I agree. I've done that.
You can also spend time getting your position on the bike better and training in that position over the winter. For every centimetre that you drop at the front end of the bike in terms of frontal resistance, that will save you 10 watts. If you can drop 3 centimetres and hold it comfortably and be able to run off the back of it, which is something you can practice over the winter, that's 30 watts that you can save, and you don't need to earn by extra training. 30 watts is a lot.
A lot.
Things like having a clean chain, 7 watts, shaving your legs if you're a man, 5 watts, all these sort of things. There is free speed available that you can get that doesn't need to cost a lot.
You just need to be smart.
So training hard on your bike, increasing your watts, will give you a better bike split. But there are other things that you can do as well as, or instead of, depending on your time, that will also increase your bike split or make it better for you.
So you'll have a better race and you'll feel better about yourself. So, have we got last one, Oliver?
Yes, the last one is, achieving a fast run split is not about being a faster runner. And this again sort of feeds back into other things that we've said. So if you are doing a longer distance event, Olympic distance, half Ironman event, then your ability to run fast at the end of that, or however you would define fast, is going to be significantly compromised by your ability to swim and your ability to cycle beforehand. If you are fit at swimming, you will be fine on the bike. People who walk most in Ironman are the people who have not swam enough. They are not the people who have not cycled enough, because people like cycling.
Or not run enough.
Or not run enough because they'll go out running. It's people who haven't swam enough, and they are always playing catch up from that. So swimming is really your basic. You have got to be fit enough to do the distance that you are going to swim. If you are not fit enough, then you will pay for it by probably walking on the run. And if you're unfit at the bike, that will also have an effect, because you'll then start using burning matches that you could then don't have for the run. So you don't necessarily have to be a faster runner or run faster to be a fast runner at a triathlon split.
You just need to have trained for triathlon.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we say this all the time. It's triathlon. It's not swimming, biking and running. What you do in the swim affects your bike. What you do on the bike affects your run. So that's why we coach triathlon. And
so triathlon's one sport. It's not three.
It's not 3. And the more people understand that, the better events they will have.
So we hope that you found that brief foray into some myth busting helpful. If you have any other myths that you might have any questions about, or any other training anomalies that you want to ask us about, get in touch through the show notes or through our website or social media, where we always answer every question that we get given.
Yes, we do.
Even if it takes a long time to answer it, we will get you the answer.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time. I've been Coach Oliver.
I've been Coach Jackie.
And we'll see you.
Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then, or as we say in Yorkshire,
City.